You are looking at the kitchen table, bills spread across it, not dramatically, just practically the way you lay out tools before a job that needs doing. Your parents sat with a calculator and the specific posture of someone doing math they already know the answer to. The numbers didn't add up. The rent was $1,100, the utilities were $180, the grocery total was $340, the account held $1,340. The calculator kept confirming what the silence already knew. You sat at that table as a child and didn't understand the numbers. You understood the silence. That table wasn't furniture. It was your first financial education, delivered without a word, absorbed without consent, running in your own decisions before you were old enough to trace where it came from. That kitchen table taught you everything your school never did about money. The problem is, Juan, it taught you the wrong curriculum. And you've been running that curriculum in your own life, on your own bills, at your own kitchen table ever since. The broke cycle is not a shortage of income. Families earning $45,000 a year run it. Families earning $85,000 a year run it. Families who received raises, promotions, and every external marker of financial progress run it, month after month, with the specific consistency of a system executing precisely as programmed. Because the cycle is not a number, it is a pattern, an inherited set of financial behaviors, emotional responses to money, and unconscious beliefs about what's possible, absorbed through childhood observation and running on autopilot in adult financial decisions that feel like choices, but are largely replays of decisions made at a different table by different hands in a household you didn't design. Your family wasn't broke because they didn't work hard. The evidence of their effort is in every sacrifice they made, every bill they managed, every month they kept the household running on margins that left no room for error. They worked hard inside a pattern that working hard alone cannot break. The pattern requires interruption, not effort. Interruption. A deliberate structural change in the behavior that the cycle depends on to replicate itself into the next month, the next year, the next generation. Nobody interrupted it before you, not because nobody cared, because nobody saw it as a pattern, that they saw it as life, as the way things are, as the financial reality of people like them, in households like theirs, managing money the only way they'd ever seen money managed. The confusion of inherited behavior with fixed reality is the most expensive illusion in your financial life. Here is the inheritance that never appears in any will, not the debt, though sometimes that too. The behavior, the invisible, deeply personal financial programming absorbed through childhood observation in a household where money was always slightly less than enough, the way your parents' body changed when a bill arrived, the way certain purchases were considered and reconsidered and ultimately declined with maybe next time rather than we can't afford it, because dignity was protected carefully in households where money wasn't. The way a tax return of $800 was spent within 2 weeks on things that felt urgent and legitimate and left no trace of the $800 3 months later. The way financial stress was relieved through spending, not recklessly, specifically. A $40 purchase on a difficult Wednesday that provided 4 hours of relief at a cost that compounded silently across 12 months into $480 of emotional spending that the budget absorbed without producing anything permanent. You absorbed all of this without a lesson being labeled a lesson, simply by being present, by watching, by being a child in a room where money was felt more than discussed. And now you are an adult with your own account, your own salary, your own bills, and these behaviors are yours now. They carry your name. They arrive as your decisions, spontaneous, reasonable, completely yours, and they are also the direct inheritance of a table you sat at 20 years ago. You didn't choose them. You inherited them. And inherited behaviors don't show up on any statement, which is exactly why they're harder to find and more expensive to carry. The moment arrives on an ordinary evening. You open last month's bank statement and trace every transaction with genuine honesty. Not the approximate version you carry in your head, the actual one. And what you find is not a mystery. It is a pattern. Food delivery totaling $380, spikes visible at the end of difficult weeks, each order individually reasonable, collectively a behavior. Impulse purchases between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. on weekdays, $260. 3 subscriptions renewed automatically at $12.99, $9.99, and $14.99. $37.97 a month for services used occasionally or not at all. Total leaving your account and emotionally driven decisions, $677. You look at this number and recognize it, not the specific amount, the shape of it. The way it arrives every month with different transactions but the same total. The way the salary grew from $38,000 to $52,000 over 4 years, and the account on the 25th of the month still shows $340. The way the margin never changes regardless of what the income does, and then the recognition deepens into something more uncomfortable. You have seen this before, not in your account, at a kitchen table, in a calculator that kept confirming what the silence already knew, in a pattern that was never yours originally and is completely yours now. The cycle didn't skip a generation, it ran straight through. And the moment you see it in your own numbers is the most uncomfortable financial moment you will ever have, because it means the problem was never the income, it was always the pattern. The first break is not dramatic. It doesn't feel like a generational turning point. It feels like a minor inconvenience, the specific low-grade friction of a financial decision that goes against the grain of every behavior the pattern has been reinforcing for years. On payday, before the account becomes psychologically available to spend, $300 moves automatically to a separate investment account with no debit card attached. Not saved after the month, moved before the month begins. The $300 is no longer in the spending environment. It exists in a different container, building with the patient indifference of a number left alone. The $37.97 in unused subscriptions is canceled. 11 minutes, $455 a year, recovered permanently. The Wednesday evening emotional spending, the $40 purchase that provides 4 hours of relief, gets replaced with a $12 alternative that produces the same relief at a 70% discount. Not eliminated, redirected. Total monthly cash flow restructured, approximately $430, without a dramatic change in lifestyle, without willpower applied daily against the full weight of the pattern. Now the mathematics. $300 a month at a 9% average annual return over 10 years, approximately $57,000. Over 20 years, approximately $198,000. That number, $198,000, has never existed in your family's financial history. Not in your parents' accounts, not in their parents', not across any generation that sat at the kitchen table and did the math that never added up. You have just created something structurally new in your bloodline. It doesn't feel that way yet. It feels like $300 missing from the account, but $300 automated on payday is the first sentence of a completely different financial story, and it doesn't require the pattern's permission to begin. And then the resistance arrives, not from yourself, from the people who love you, the family member who notices the change in your spending and calls it arrogance, not aggressively, with the specific gentle concern of someone who equates financial ambition with forgetting where you came from, as though building something better is a criticism of what existed before. Their concern is real, their love is real, their discomfort with your divergence from the shared financial reality is also real. The social pressure of a community whose financial decisions yours are beginning to no longer match. The dinner where you decline something that the group considers a routine expense. The conversation where your choices require an explanation that nobody asked for but everyone notices. The specific friction of becoming financially different from the people your life was built alongside. And the guilt. The quiet, persistent, largely unacknowledged guilt of building something your parents couldn't. Of redirecting $300 a month into an account that is growing while your parents' account runs the same calculation at the same kitchen table, of having options that their generation didn't, not because you're more capable, but because you interrupted something they never got to interrupt. None of these people are the antagonist of this story. The family member expressing concern loves you. The community maintaining its shared financial reality is not trying to hold you back. Your parents are not diminished by your progress. They are the cycle speaking through the people you love. And the cycle, unlike the people carrying it, has no love for you at all. The hardest part of breaking the cycle isn't the discipline, it's the distance it creates between you and the people you're breaking it for. Here is the honest accounting. Breaking the cycle costs something real, and naming it clearly is more useful than discovering it without warning halfway through the work. It costs the comfort of a shared financial reality, the ease of spending decisions made the way your family always made them, without the friction of a separate framework running alongside every choice, the lightness of a life where money is managed by feel rather than tracked with the specific, occasionally exhausting attention of someone rewriting a pattern in real time. It costs a version of belonging. The community built around a shared financial experience will shift as your experience diverges, not dramatically, gradually, in the way that growth always creates gentle distance between where you are and where the people you love remain. It costs the identity, the self-concept built around being someone who manages money the way your family managed money. The familiarity of that identity, even with its limitations, even with its costs, dissolves as the new behavior accumulates. And identity dissolution, even when it's necessary and chosen, is genuinely uncomfortable. These are not reasons to stop. They are the real price of the work, named honestly, carried with awareness, understood as the cost of building something that has never existed in your family's financial story. The alternative is not comfort. The alternative is the kitchen table, the calculator, the silence. Another generation absorbing the wrong curriculum without knowing it's a curriculum. Breaking the cycle costs something real. Continuing it costs everything. Here is what the break actually produces, not just a growing investment account, though that too, building toward $57,000 in 10 years and $198,000 in 20 from $300 a month alone. Not just the eliminated debt and the restructured cash flow and the financial floor that converts every unexpected expense from a crisis into an inconvenience. What changes is the normal. The next generation in your family, your children, your younger siblings, the cousins who are watching without appearing to watch, will grow up inside a different financial atmosphere, one where an investment account is a normal household object, where money is discussed with specificity rather than avoided with discomfort, where the kitchen table at the end of the month has a different calculation on it, not because the income is dramatically larger, but because the pattern running through it is structurally different. The cousin who asks you a question about investing isn't just asking about money, they're asking because your existence has expanded what they believe is available to people like them. Your decision to interrupt the pattern answered a question they were afraid to ask out loud. That is not a small thing. The most powerful force in generational wealth is not the transfer of money, it's the transfer of belief. The belief that building is possible for your family, that the kitchen table calculation can produce a different answer, that the cycle, which felt like personality and reality and the permanent condition of people like you, was always just a pattern. And patterns can be interrupted. You're not just building wealth, you're building a new normal, and the people born into it will never have to fight for it the way you did. Go back to the kitchen table, the bills, the calculator, the silence with the specific weight of numbers that don't add up. The child sitting there absorbing a curriculum no one labeled as a curriculum, learning through the posture of a parent and the sound of a calculator and the weight of a room at the end of a month, what money means and what it does and what people like your family can expect from it. Here's the reframe that changes everything about that table. The table where you absorb the wrong curriculum is also the table where you get to write a different one. Not by erasing what happened there, the effort, the sacrifice, the genuine love contained in every month your family managed to keep the household running on margins that left no room for error. That stays. That is honored. But the pattern that table also transmitted, the financial behaviors absorbed without consent, running on autopilot through your own decisions for years before you trace them back to their origin, that pattern ends here, with you, by decision. If you are watching this from inside the cycle right now, still at the table, still doing the month-end math that keeps producing the wrong answer, still running the inherited curriculum without having named it as inherited, hear this. The $300 automated transfer is available to you today. The investment account that nobody in your family has ever opened is available to you today. The 11-minute cancellation of 3 subscriptions that total $37.97 a month is available to you today. None of these require extraordinary income. None require a dramatic life change. None require a perfect month or the right circumstances or the version of your financial life that is ready, because that version arrives after you begin, not before. The cycle breaks when someone decides it breaks. That decision is available on any ordinary Tuesday. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't feel significant in the moment it's made. It just becomes over months and years, and the slow accumulation of a pattern running differently, the most important financial decision anyone in your family ever made. The table where you learned the wrong curriculum is waiting. Set a different one. Not for yourself only. For every person who comes after you and sits at a table that looks like yours but inherits a completely different story.